Unheard Gems. Today we are joined by a brand new artist who came into our inbox, and I was overjoyed when I listened to her song for the first time, Convince You, which comes out in September. This is Dominique. She's already creating a buzz in the pop world. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for interviewing me and loving the song. It's so exciting.
Well, I'm so excited we got a chance to listen to it, and I'm really excited for everyone to get the chance to hear it, because it's now one of my personal favorites.
Yay, that literally makes my day.
So, sort of because you're a new artist, I just want to get to know you a bit. So, how did you fall into making music? Is it something you've always known you want to do? And then, how are you really creating and approaching your music now?
Yeah, I've always written songs. I'm a songwriter too. Like today, I'm in a session with another artist that I work with, and my favorite thing is writing songs. I can't go a day without doing something. Without doing something like that, and so that's how it kind of started for me. And when I wrote "Convince You," I walked away from the session, and I called the co-writer, and I was just like, I'm obsessed with the song. It's so me. I want to release it. And he was like, let's do it. And him and the producer that I worked with, they were so excited and so on board. And that song really started everything. And I've written songs for myself, but I think it took the song to really get me excited about it and moving towards the artist direction. And now it's finally happening. And I'm just like, this is so cool. I can't believe it.
And then another little get to know you. What would be 5 words you would use to describe yourself as a person or as an artist? Either way.
Well, I'm very kind-hearted, which sometimes gets me hurt so easily, which is good for music. I can write about it.
It's definitely one way to look at it.
I'm a total goofball. I laugh at myself. I guess these aren't words, huh?
Short phrases is good too.
You're like, Dominique, I asked for a word. So let's see. Word. Happy, goofy, athlete. I'm a massive athlete. Musician, I guess probably should have been the first thing I said. And loyal. Is that 5? I can't count. So
I think that's 5.
Cool.
Then sort of now into the music you've been working on. You just were recently featured on a single called All Day from James Maslow. And so just asking you, in your perspective, what was that collaboration like for you, and what's it been like to be part of the buzz and the whole area on the single with the press?
Yeah, that was such a great opportunity, and James is incredible to work with. First of all, he's so talented. We had a session after that song came out, and he's just such a great musician, such a great singer, and it was really a good kind of first step for me, just personally, to see how he works and interviews and promotes the song. I mean, he's a pro, and he's been doing it for so long, and he's also such a nice person. So I couldn't have asked for a better kind of first step into that world. And I love the song. Everybody loves the song. It was awesome. And it's still going. We still have performances popping up, and it's getting picked up on all of these playlists, and hopefully some sync opportunities soon. So it's really great. And it happened at the perfect timing, because I was already planning to release my single, and then that kind of popped up. So we're like, this is great. I mean, everything is happening in such a great way, and I kind of asked for a better partner in crime. He's awesome. So, yeah. And he's just great to work with. I think we'll continue working in the future too.
That's great. It's good to build those relationships, and I'm really happy to hear that it went so well for you guys.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, his whole team is great too.
Awesome. And then sort of along that same sort of track, you've worked with other artists before, and you just said you were in the studio with another artist right now. But what's that like when for you when you release your own music versus when you work with another artist? Is it a different process for you? Do you feel more connected, less connected to the music, the process? What's it like?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm trying to figure out myself, the creative mind is so unique and special and confusing. And when I work with other artists, sometimes it gives me an opportunity to kind of like say stuff I would really never say, like a little more urban pop. I'm so far from that, but it's kind of challenging and exciting to write that way because I listen to a lot of hip hop and urban music just on my own. For some reason, I'm really drawn to that music. Or I was just in Nashville writing with a country artist who I love, and that's actually how I started writing, just on a guitar. And Nashville is they really dive into the songs, and lyric and melody is just so important, as is it for any song in any genre, but especially there. And it's wonderful, and I love country music. I kind of grew up listening to it, so to write it is even more fun. But I guess I am more attached to my songs than when I write with other artists, because I kind of go in being like, this is their song and I want to give them what they want, and I want them to feel excited, and like it really represents how they're feeling or what they want to sound like or portray themselves. So I guess it's more important for me to have them feel confident, and obviously I still want to feel proud and like love the song too, but for me, I'm working with Maddie today, like I just want her to be in love with what we're working on, more so than me. So I hope that's a good answer.
Yeah, and I just another little follow-up off of that too. When you go in to work with another artist, what's your mindset, and how does that dynamic normally work? I just don't know when someone's writing a song with or for someone else, what's that like, just because I don't know.
Yeah, well, with any artist I've worked with, we usually just talk about life or what they're going through, or sometimes they'll come and be like, oh man, I had this title last night, or this concept that I've been really wanting to write, and I think that you would bring this to life. We always start with an idea, it seems, or like a melody, and then kind of go off of that. And then everybody, even the producer, like we all kind of talk about how that concept or that title or that story that someone just told, how we relate to it and how it affected us. And then just kind of build off of that. And we usually start with melodies, I would say, actually. Melodies, like a concept and then melodies, because the melodies they're so important. And then just, fill in the lyrics. I kind of do lyrics and melody at the same time, which is a little bit odd. Like I go a little quiet in the studio, and I have to, from my mind, I have to kind of formulate a whole idea before I spit it out. I think it's one of those syndromes, like when you're not sure about the answer, and you're just like, I have an idea, but I'm not sure about it yet. So I like to form the whole idea before I go, okay, this is my idea, and feel confident about it. But yeah, and it's always important to me that I work with an artist that has like a strong idea of what they want to say, because it's been challenging sometimes when there's been an artist and they just kind of expect you to write everything or come up with the whole idea, and it's like, well, what are you going through? Like, I feel like for a song to be authentic, it has to be like, true to yourself, and like convince you, is even though it's a pop song and it's like fun and you can vibe to it, it was something I was going through at the time. So now I feel like I'm just blabbling, so I'm gonna stop. But
no, it's good. It really fed right into my next question, which is your single "Convince You" about that. And then I just want to know how you chose it as your solo debut. Like, that's your first single out, so how'd you pick this one out of any other song you've written?
Yeah, well, I've been in love with it for a while now. We've been kind of finessing this whole release process for a bit, and it's just always been, I don't know, I just kind of like had it set in my mind that it was the first song I would release. I think it's like we talked about before, it's a song that you can listen to in the car or listen to with your friends. You can party to it. You could like put it on your room while you're like cleaning your room or doing some homework or whatever. And it's pretty relatable. I think everybody's kind of had that like crush phase where nobody's making the move and you're like, come on, bro, it's time. Make the move. Like, let's go. So I've kind of just always mentally had it as the first song, and it's never wavered. And I've written songs that I'm in love with since then, but for me, it's kind of never faltered, or it's not the right word. It's never changed. That would be the first song, and I think it's a really great start to kind of my sound, introducing my sound and my voice, and it's a strong song to build off of, I think.
Yeah.
Like I have a couple, like there's this one ballad, and it's still kind of in the demo phase, but oh my gosh, like I just can't wait to put it out. I think it might be the third single, or fourth, but it's such a heartfelt song, and more singer-songwriter, like acoustic style, and I'm like already looking forward to that one. It probably won't be out for a while, but I definitely get attached to songs, that's for sure. I think every artist does, or songwriter, but I get attached to them. And it's kind of hard when you have someone on your team being like, well, I think we should push this, and I'm like, what do you mean? This is amazing. So yeah.
And then I also heard that you're working on a debut EP that you are tentatively slotting for the end of the year. Will it be similar to Convince You? I know you were saying that there's more of a ballady song that will probably be on that. And so should we expect more like that? Will there be any collaborations on the EP? What's sort of the scoop you can give us?
Yeah, I mean, it's all, I have so basically I think what we'll do is release singles, and then after the singles kind of establish me as an artist and people start to catch on and hopefully vibe with it and like love the music, then I think we'll package them and release an EP with some new songs on it. But I don't really think the songs are all going to sound the same, to be honest. I think because I am a songwriter and I write so differently with other artists, it's not all going to sound like Convince You. But it'll all make sense because it's all me and like my stories and my voice. So it'll make sense, but I don't think the songs will all sound the same, at least as they are now. But it'll be cool because I love them all, and I hope you do. Like I hope other people love them all too.
They're all going to be authentic Dominique, and they're all going to tell your story, so they'll all sound like you.
We're going to get an insight into my life, into my love life, really. My chaotic love life.
I joked with another artist that do you have to do like the warning notice before you go into a relationship, like, hey, I might write a song about you afterward.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you just have to know. Like, you just have to know. When you're dating an artist or a songwriter, like, you should take it as a compliment. They really should. Like, you're gonna live forever. Unless I have written some sassier breakup songs. Yeah. I might have to send that guy a warning. It might sting.
Well, I look forward to hearing it.
Yeah.
We can play fun. Guess which one.
I know. You're like, Or they'll think like the Love You songs are about them, and I'm like, no, I didn't feel that way about you. I'm just kidding. I'm not that cutthroat. I wish I was that cool, but I'm not.
Well, I'm really glad that we got the chance to hear about you. And so then I have one little last question that's, I think, a little bit tricky, but also tells me about you and what you like. If you were to recommend another growing or, like, Unheard Gemmy type artist or musician, who would you recommend to us to check out?
Oh, man. Okay, well, one of my best friends is an artist, and her name is Molly Koa, MALI-KOA. And she's released one single so far, and we met totally randomly at a studio, and then she's just like one of my soulmates. And she lives in London. She's a UK artist, but she is freaking ridiculous. Oh, sorry, can you hear me? I think the plane.
Yeah.
One second. Probably can't hear me. But you should check her out. Her song Honest is out right now, and her voice is like insane. I mean, I'm really excited for her record. She's putting an album together right now and writing in London, and yeah, I just really believe in her. I mean, obviously she's my best friend, so I believe in her. But like, if I didn't know her, I would just fall in love with her anyways. So check her out. She's amazing.
Awesome. Will do.
Yeah.
Well, I hope if you have any more time in the studio today, it goes really well. And I can't wait for everyone to hear Convince You, and I hope they love it just as much as I do. So thank you so much for doing this interview with us.
Oh, thank you so much, and hopefully there'll be more in the future to come.
So what you waiting for? Come on over. Oh, I don't wanna wait for it. Babe, I'm losing patience. Want you now or never. Come here, let me convince you. Let me convince you to close the distance. I want you now or never. If you make me come to you, I'ma convince you. Yeah.